welcome to or welcome back to Easton Crafts, my YouTube channel where I make a lot of cards and do some spreads in the Happy Planner. So far that's all I've done, but really anything I make, my goal is to go ahead and record it so that people can follow along and see what I do, see what goes into some of the projects that I do. Today I am going to be making a birthday card, and I've pre-cut some of the stuff on the Cricut just because that was going to take a while, so I will explain what I did there, but let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to go ahead and cut my base and that just to kind of get some of this out of the way. Ouch. So I'm going to do a white base for this, and it's already cut to 8.5 by 5.5 to make an A2 card. So I just want to score this. Get that out of the way. So that takes care of that, and then I'm going to put this yellow paper in the background on the top of my card. So I'm going to cut this to 4 by 5.25 so I can leave an 1/8 inch border all around the yellow background there. And this, if you watched my heart shaker card video where I messed up the direction of my background paper, this one's not going to matter, so we're all good. I don't have to worry about that again. And then 4. Okay, and I think that means I'm done with the cutter. We shall see. I tried to grab everything beforehand. We'll see if I actually did. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and tack this down because there's nothing going under it, and everything's gonna be 3D on top of it. So I'm gonna go ahead and get that down. And this is just a glue tape roller. If you've watched any of my other videos where I use it, I love these things. They just make everything so much easier. Okay. So, and I just eyeball these. I don't measure. Let's see if I can do it not hovering over the top of it. Okay, perfect. So that's the background of my card. So now what I'm going to do is build my elements on top, which is going to be this. So these are all separate, and I have not tacked them down together yet. So what I did to make these is in Adobe Illustrator, I just did a text of the happy, which I believe is an Arial rounded bold that I chose for that. I created the outlines of that so that then I could cut in Cricut, but then I also did an offset path on it to create the box to where the path around it is larger than the outside of the letters. And so I took this and then I just repeated this like 7 times, I believe it was. And then for each layer, so not even, I didn't do them on layers in Illustrator, but I just took this and then duplicated it. And then, so I took this group that I have of all of these, and I duplicated that 7 times. And then for the first one, I took and I just welded these all together to give me that shape. And then in the next set that I had, I deleted the background and then welded these together, and then got rid of that and welded the next set together just to kind of keep it going until I got to the bottom. And I hope that makes sense. I didn't record doing any of that. It was kind of an experiment to see how it would work. I don't know that I necessarily want to get into doing tutorials and stuff on that. We'll see. So anyway, what I'm going to do now is just tack all of these together to create that look there. So we're going to go ahead and start with this one. And we'll just glue all of this down. These over here. I thought about taking just this and duplicating it 7 times and then just stacking these on top of each other, but I thought it might, instead of having a nice solid base, I thought it might get a little wavy in there, so I decided to do it this way, and we'll see. It's gonna be thick when I'm done, but it's thin enough that it should still be okay going in the mail without jamming up a sorting machine. Okay, oops. Last layer. Booger hanging off the front there. All right, so there we have that. Fun. It's nice and thick. Now, the part that I'm not looking forward to here is to glue all of these guys on, because I can't really use my roller tape. So I'm going to use a liquid glue here, and we will see how well this works, because I am very messy with liquid glue, so unfortunately. Okay, we might have survived that without any major disasters. Okay, I'm gonna set that off to the side, let that dry, and then I'm going to stamp the birthday now. So, and I'm gonna heat emboss that as well. So we'll set that. And so let's see here. Let me get my stamping gear all set up. Okay. So I have these cute happy birthday set of stamps from Concord and 9th, and I'm just going to use just the birthday part here. And then I have the stamping plate. I don't know what the actual tool name is from We Are Memory Keepers. I use this quite a bit to hold things down while I stamp it. And then I'll do it, but you put your cling stamp on here, and then you can press, and then that way, if you take it off and it's not what you want, you can keep going on it, which is nice without kind of ruining everything. So let's see. Okay, we're gonna do that, and then get this stamp out. I don't know if I've used this one yet or not. Okay, so the easiest way to do this is to go ahead, get that where you want it. I want to leave myself enough room so that I can trim where I want to. And then do this. Okay, so then now you can see that I have my stamp stuck and it looks pretty straight, so. Okay, so I am going to use embossing ink and then a black embossing powder. And so what else I got is an anti-static like powder pad thing that you can rub over this, and that way your embossing powder doesn't kind of stick everywhere. And I really like this. It works really well. I used to, especially with black, would get just powder clinging everywhere, and you couldn't even just get it to brush off all the way and properly, and so then you'd have little black speckles all over everything. And I've used that just once with the black, and it worked really well, so I'm excited to have that now. And this is clear, so you can't really see it, but it's going on. See how well that worked here by doing this. And I've got a scratch paper here. It looks a little light, but we'll see. Once I get the gun on here, we'll see if that melts very well. If not, we'll do it again. Okay, so I've just got a heat gun. And I don't know if you can see how that changed kind of from powder to almost like it's like a raised, embossed letters now. And I did end up getting black over everything, but I think I'm okay with that. Let's see. I might try again here, just because. Let's see, let me actually put the embossing powder back. It doesn't always get all of it back in there, but better than nothing. And I'm gonna cap that so I don't spill it everywhere. Okay, so let's try this here. Let's just do the other side. And I'm gonna try this. Okay, re-ink. And whatever this one looks like, we're going with one of the two. Oh, I think that one might be better, actually. And you can take a paintbrush and kind of rub off any of the extra little powder that comes, but I find that that doesn't necessarily always get it very well, so. I think that one looks better. It's still not perfect, but it's better. Okay. Set that aside. Take away my stamping stuff here. Okay, I want to make sure this is dry before I try to cut it, because this is melted, it's a melted powder, it can smudge if you do it too early. So I don't want to do that too early. So I'm just going to give that a minute here. Okay, hopefully that's dry and I don't mess this up. Let's see. Okay, I think we're safe. So I want to cut this fairly tight here. So let's see if I can get this straight. Because my stamp wasn't straight, I can't really line up with the top. So let's see. Looks pretty good. And I just want to, I'm just going to trim, or do that. Okay, so I'm trying to decide if I want this to stretch all the way across or not, and I don't think I do. So let's do this. So this is about 1.5. The birthday is about 1.5 wide. So let's go. Let's do this. And see how that looks. And I think I may want to add a tiny black border around that, but let's see. Well, let's just cut one and see. So I have some black paper here left over from cutting out the happies. Trim that down. Okay. And this ended up being, let's see if I can do it here. Three and a half by a half. So if I go, I don't even want a full 1/8 inch around each side. just want a teeny black border. So let's see how that. Let's see how that feels. I think I might like it without. Offset. And it's a little hard, so I'm going to round those corners. Okay, let's see. Hopefully this doesn't ruin it. Okay, and I want to do the black border now, I decided. So I'm just gonna go ahead and put that on there. Get committed to it. Let's grab it here. Let's see. Okay. Let's put everything down. So I am going to, this one is just going to get taped on with this. I don't know why this tape roller is acting up all of a sudden. Okay. So there's that. And then this one, I'm going to use foam squares so that it stands up and is sort of even with that. And one more. I feel like my eyeballing is gonna fail me here. There we go, front of the card. And then for the inside, something really cool that I've been trying to do is make it so that whoever receives this card can reuse it and resend it to somebody else. What I was doing for all of my friends when I was sending cards is I was just taking and writing something on a separate piece of paper and then just using washi tape to tape it inside. And I sent one like that to my sister, and she thought it was a really cool idea, and she wanted to be able to pass it on, you know, continuously again and again. But since you kind of can't really send like extra washi tape with anything, she came up with this really cool idea to use photo corners on the edges, on the insides here, and then that way you can just clip in a new message. So I will probably do that with this, and then I'm gonna print up a little insert card that explains that you can do that, and it will make it the same size so you can use it as a template to cut or whatever. But I think it's a really cool idea, so if you want to do that, and then that way your cards can keep getting passed around. You know, you spend so much time on them and everything that, why not? It'll be great if everyone can reuse them and send them on again, and it's good. So anyway, here's that, and I hope that gives you a cool idea and you had fun watching. And if you want to check out any of my other projects, please watch some of my older videos, subscribe, like, comment, let me know what you do and don't like. If you want to check out my Instagram and follow me there, which is at Easton Crafts, I post all my projects there, so you can check those out too. Thanks so much.